My terrible mother treats my brother horribly. Now she's paying the price.
Ooh, and the price is none of your children like you. Dang.
June 6, 2021, 2 days after Keon's birthday.
Aw, and your brother's birthday.
Yep, I, 33 female, have a sister, 30 female, and a little brother, 17 male. My mom, single mother, our parents are divorced while she was pregnant with my brother, was a wonderful mother to both me and my sister. However, she switched up incredibly while raising my brother, so much to the point that I offered to raise my brother instead. By the way, this comes from Throwaway09, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So my brother, who is now a junior in high school, has self-esteem issues, especially related to the way he looks / weighs. He was a chubby baby, and my mom used to say negative things to him all the time, which I kind of guess ruined his self-esteem. My sister and I always call him cute, handsome, etc. But obviously, our mother's words had a bigger effect on him. To put in perspective for you guys, he's 6'1", underweight, objectively a good-looking kid, yet still finds himself ugly and/or /fat. I, a 5'8" woman, weigh more than him and am healthy at weight. Anyways, despite everything, he is still a cheerful and talkative kid who really does love our mother, and this makes me 10 times angrier. On to the problem. I made a mess in the kitchen yesterday while doing a little baking and accidentally fell asleep on the couch due to exhaustion and forgot to clean up. My mom saw the mess and started screaming at my brother, and my brother said he'd clean it up and that he was sorry. He basically admitted to doing something he didn't do, and when I found out, I immediately told my mom it was my fault, and she said that it was fine. I asked her to apologize to him, but she said that he was a man and that she doesn't need to. It's not a man, that's your kid. That's your son.
Baby boy.
Stop it. And he clearly has some kind of disorder. He's at least, at the very least, has body dysmorphia. He's 6'1" and underweight. He still thinks he's too big. Dysmorphia.
I got mad and told her that if she kept this up, then her son will end up doing something drastic. She said that she wasn't doing anything, and I said something along the lines of, seriously? You're literally the cause of all his problems. I also called her a terrible mother. She got mad!
Oh, no way.
She said, I didn't go through all this crap for my own daughter to take a boy's side of her own mother's. She made a lot of gender-based comments like, you're a girl, you should take my side. And he's a boy, he deserves it, etc.
What?
That's
Then
your
she
boy.
went to her room and went to sleep.
What?
That's your boy.
What is this? You're the mother.
Ooh. Conspiracy theory. She probably has like hatred towards men because of divorce. And then also, if this was her kid from her ex-husband, she probably has a lot of resentment on him because she sees a lot of him in her.
Wombo combo.
Kid.
It's literally, it's My Hero Academia, dude.
I know. Be a parent.
Honestly, I'm just confused now. Also, while I don't regret standing up for my brother, I feel like maybe I shouldn't have blamed her for all of his issues, since it's a pretty big accusation and she's obviously hurt. I'm thinking I should have been more mature. Plus, she wasn't a bad mother to me or my sister, so maybe that was uncalled for. But yeah, am I the a-hole for blaming my mother all of my brother's problems? Guys, yes or no?
No.
For all of his problems?
All of his big ones. Look, a lot of times parents can't hear they've made mistakes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For whatever reason. Sometimes just the way they were raised, where it's just like, parent knows best. Like, I'm fundamentally the parent. Can't tell me anything. And I do think that there should be boundaries between parents and children on, like, what can kind of be talked about in a appropriate context. Because some things are just not meant
Like what?
to be talked about between parents and children.
Like what?
Like, you shouldn't, I don't think it's necessarily healthy to be like a mediator or a moderator in your parents' relationship.
Oh, I see.
Where it's like
mom, you need to talk to dad, dad, you need to talk to
right,
mom.
like that's not the job or role.
They
or
need to do that.
responsibility of the child.
A Cocktail says, she sounds misandrist. AF. He happened to look like his father? Not the a-hole. I would talk to your bro and try to be his shoulder. Your mom is completely effing him up and it may be too late to undo all her damage. Edit, I'm not implying he's beyond hope of healing, just that she's going to leave scars, so the quicker you help him and start healing, the better. Opie says, we're actually mixed. Our dad is East Asian, mom is white. He looks more Asian than my sister and I, so yes, he does look more like our dad in a way. The fact that it might be too late is what I'm terrified about. I'll still try to be his shoulder, though thanks. Bar Administration 41 says it's pretty obvious she is taking out her anger at your father on him. It's so sad. The same thing happened to my little cousin after his mother acrimonious divorce. Just be there for him as much as you can and try as much as possible to help him understand that none of this is his fault and there was nothing wrong with him. Feel free to throw your mother under the bus to get this through to him. If possible, help him get out of the house as soon as he is old enough and away from her.
For all the listeners out there, really quick, acrimonious means angry or bitter, which I did not know.
Equivalent Horror 67 says, not the a-hole, your mom is the a-hole for being. Can't your brother move in with his dad? OP says, dad lives in his home country and traveling is a bit of a no can do to you know what. My sister and I live with our mom plus brother because she's older and we're also concerned about our brother so we don't have our own places. We're unfortunately low on money as well. However, I can try to talk to my dad about what's going on, but he's remarried and he is very busy these days, so I really don't know. Update 6 days later.
Oh boy.
So nobody really asked for an update, but I'm a bit bored and thought, why not? First off, I'd like to say that after reading your replies, I think the reason my mom is so horrible towards my brother is a mix of him looking like my dad and him being a boy, but I don't know for sure now for the update. A bit after I made the post, I went to talk to my brother who was in his room. He was fine, but when I asked him to tell me how he felt about, everything, he broke down. Heart broke into a million pieces. At that moment, I knew that he couldn't stay with our mom anymore. So I called my boyfriend of 5 years and asked if my brother and I could move in for a bit. He has the space and my brother gets along with him, so he agreed. My mom didn't give a crap. She didn't even say goodbye to him. She asked me if I could stay, but completely ignored my brother's presence. I tried my hardest to stay calm, not shout at her, but the way she was acting was so mean. According to my sister, my mom still makes mean comments about my brother, even though he's not there. Staying calm is really hard right now. Anyways, called my dad as well and basically told him everything. He was a bit angry at first because no one told him about this before and he wouldn't have left any of us in a different country had he known. Calmed down and talked to my brother for over an hour, but by the time he hung up, my brother had tears of joy and relief in his eyes.
Yes, let's go.
It's still unclear whether my dad will be visiting or if my brother will be moving or how we're going to proceed from now due to you know what, but I can assure you that my mother won't be able to say anything to my brother again. Unfortunately, I am unable to put my brother into therapy because I don't have a lot of money on me, but I will try and talk to one of my friends who is pretty knowledgeable in the mental health department and can see if I can help my brother. Thanks to everyone who gave their 2 cents. Edit. Jeez Louise, thank you all so much for the advice, information, awards, seriously, whoa, kindness, and everything. I've taken into consideration and have tried to respond to as many replies as I can. I'm going to do some research and look into getting some help for my brother. By the way, you can help us out if you go to your favorite podcast platform, search up what, Dakota?
Okay, Storytime.
And right there, you will see a plethora of stories just like these. Go to Apple, go to iHeart, go to Spotify. We're there. But yeah, I should, this sister of the year award right here.
Sister of the generation.
Oh yeah, of that bloodline.
Sister of the
both of those sisters.
Sister of the corn.
Also, what did the dad say?
I mean, all I hope is that he gets the help that he needs because, body dysmorphia is it's almost like a lot of disorders like that. It's like from the outside in, you look at it and it's like, well, why can't you just snap out of it? And it's like it's more than that. It's like that's why it's a thing. Is it's not something that's just
mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're lucky, it can happen.
Yeah.
You can just sometimes, I mean, there's people who they have afflictions like this and they wake up one day and they're like, oh my God, wait, I don't even care.
No.
Very rare. The human mind is a treacherous landscape of pitfalls.
It's true. But we got a little bit more here. I'd also like to say that if you're went through something similar, I'm rooting for you. And I know many of you may not be religious, but I am keeping you all in my prayers. Seriously. Thanks so much for everything. And I hope you all have a wonderful day/night. Humble Smiley says, hey, I'm happy that you got him out of the toxic environment. If you are in the USA, you can apply for medical assistance since your brother has no income. And depending on your age, you might be able to apply for assistance or even get child support from your so-called mom, especially if she's getting child support from your father. OP says, I'm actually in the USA, so I'll see what I can do. Thanks. And Porn is Not Sex says, a lot of us mistreated as kids struggle because no one stood up for us ever. Your brother will have a long ways to go, and undoubtedly it will mess him up, but you have made sure that one less point on the long list of trauma can create. OP says, I'm very sorry about your situation. I can't do much, but I hope you will have/will find peace. I don't know if you're religious, but I will keep you and every other person who hasn't been able to get out of an abusive situation in my prayers. Thank you. Loza91, your good sister. Your brother is lucky to have you in his life. OP says, I am more lucky to have that kid in my life. He doesn't know this, but he helped me a lot when we were younger. I remember when he was 8, I was maybe 23, 24, broke up with this guy. It was a huge mess, but he, in his little superhero costumes that I had bought for him for his birthday earlier, said, I don't need to be sad anymore because I had him and he would rescue me every time I was down. I sobbed like a baby.
No. That's cute.
I'm rambling, but yeah, I am way luckier to have this kid in my life. So thank you for the kind words, though.
And that is the end of that story.